Today we are checking out the DnaFx Pro by Harley Benton. If you're familiar with my YouTube channel, you may know that I play guitar modeling units a lot, and I own most of the units which you may know, but the DnaFx Pro by Harley Benton is one unit which seems to be kind of overlooked in my opinion. And I put out a couple of videos with that unit, but also in my collection it's there on the shelf, but I didn't turn it on I think for about 1 or 2 years now. And as far as I remember, the unit sounds really good, so I gave it a chance today. And let's see what we can do with this unit. So here's the editor. And by the way, I'm of course selling a preset pack with the best high gain tones ever for this unit as for all the other units. So if you would like to get my tones, my preset packs, please contact me in Facebook or Instagram. Links are in the description below. And consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. So the sound you are hearing in the intro, it's coming with a preset pack. It's called FxGit. So let me turn off the delay. As you can hear, it sounds full and rich, in my opinion, really nice. And what is remarkable is it has this tight low end, which sounds really harmonic in my opinion. So usually this is a tone which I'd rather use in a live situation because it has less highs than I would use for recording. Anyway. So let's turn on some reverb and delay. Now let's briefly check out the effects quality. So just to reverb. It's a Hall reverb. We'll dial it back a little bit. I wouldn't use it in a live situation, to be honest. Yeah, it sounds pretty decent. Here you have the other reverbs. As you can see, this unit doesn't come with a shitload of effects and reverbs and delays. That is where the unit is lacking a little bit, in my opinion. Not the quality. Quality is okay, if not more than okay. Some of them sound really, really nice. But for example, in the delay section here, we have the ping pong delay, which you can hear hopefully if you're listening in stereo. But the other delays, they're mono. Also hear the dual delay, which is, in my opinion, a little bit of a bummer because I would like to set different tempos, as you can see here, to the left and the right side, and you cannot pan them to the left and the right side. So, yeah, we have to go with the, here's also mono, with the ping pong delay if you would like to have a stereo effect. Also, of course, we have the modulation. And here we have only one chorus, classic chorus. If it sounds decent, it's enough, but in my opinion. It's not the best sounding chorus in the world, to be honest. Don't know if it's stereo or mono, so let's put it in front of the amp. Okay. Usually I tend to put the chorus after the amp, and I would like to achieve some kind of stereo sound. Okay. To be honest, with distorted tones, this is not very convincing to me. Let's check out the flanger. It doesn't sound bad. Yeah. So with the flanger, it's sometimes it can get difficult to get my desired tone, but this one is very easy to dial in. It sounds good in my ears. I'm not the biggest expert of flangers, but that kind of Van Halen-ish flanger in front of the amp, yeah, does the job. If you put it after the amp, you have a typical jet flanger effect. That sounds also decent. Something which is not so easy with some of the other modeling units. Okay, phaser. What I like the phaser for is sometimes with a little bit of delay, stereo delay. If you play some arpeggios, maybe over a riff, then you can also use more distortion. But it seems to fatten up the tone a lot. They do that when recording, especially. Okay, what else? Detune rotary. Okay, rotary is maybe something which I would put after the amp. But also not for high gains. Of course, people tend to use it with the clean tones. Okay, so let's check out some other amps. Here you have the compression, which is nice for cleans, but I don't use it for distortion. Okay, let's turn on the distortion again. By the way, I'm using the tube screamer here. Which is my go-to distortion. Also, I like the Boss SD1. I don't know if you find that here. If you use the mouse wheel, you can go further down. So let's check out if there are more effects here. No, nothing. Okay, monopitch, polypitch, low pass filter, high pass filter. Okay. But tightly dissed, full dissed. Okay, this might be the full tone. Maybe this is Riot. Okay, shredder, gold tone, full drive. I mean the Boss SD1 is really popular, so I think maybe it would be a good idea to include the most popular distortion pedals. Okay, by the way, if you turn off the distortion here, you have an almost clean tone. This is also nice. And here you can hear that the amp is quite dynamic. So this is, if I'm pushing the strings really soft, then you have a clean tone. Here you get more distortion. Okay, but I wanted to check out some other amps, so let's go back to the initial state. No, we don't want to save. Okay, let's turn off the delay, and here we have the amps. Start with clean amps, of course, and then yeah, orange. Oh, this is way too much gain for my taste, so let's dial back the gain here. Okay. I don't know if you can hear it, but these are very powerful here. I don't know if the tone stack is the same in all amps or if they model it after the amp. But to be honest, I don't care as long as it does the job. These are very effective here. You can hear really scooped and not usable, but here by the way, in the cap section you have the tube selection here, which is a little bit odd because usually the tubes are part of the amp. These sound also nice, the EL84s. Usually I wouldn't choose these for high gains, but sixes. Yeah, the tube emulation does a lot to the tone here. Okay, another amp, the Artian DS PRS amp, I think. Okay, you have to scroll to the second part of the tone stack here. Okay. You have to be careful that it doesn't get too scooped. With this EQ setting here, I'm using an EQ by the way. But if I turn that off, I don't find it to sound that promising. Okay, this amp, this voicing doesn't sound that nice to me. Okay, let's check out another amp. Hey, we had the Brit Plexi already, JCM800. Okay, also an amp with not a ton of gain. Okay. That sounds quite nice. Let's. Oh no. Now I saved it over my Plexi preset. It is a shame because I liked it, but I didn't find here anything where I could choose to which preset to which slot I should save the preset. As you can see, the editor is a little bit lacking. Actually, it's not a bad thing if a company has its own design for the user interface, in my opinion, but at least it should support the basic functions like choosing the slot where you want to save something. Oh, the editor crashed now and I had to restart the unit. That was really annoying. And here we are again. Want to save it? No. Okay, I hope this will work until the end of the video. And yeah, we are on our way to check out some other amps. So, oh, we have the 410. JVM 410, which is an amp which I own. The amp has tons of gain. Okay, but not this model, so let's use the Tube Screamer. Sounds also nice with this setting. Have to be careful with the presets here. Usually the amp could need a little bit more bass. Okay. Let's see if we find some other amps, maybe some other brands. So here we have the Friedman. Very mid-heavy. And the PV. Classic. Okay. Let's see. Sounds really nasty. The presence. Okay. That is really not a lot of gain. Thought the PV Classic should be the 6505, 5150. But actually, I would expect this amp to have more gain. amp also, by the way. Original has way more gain, to be honest. Okay, the shiver. What is this? Bogner? Usually when playing on the E string, you can hear the difference in the characteristics of these amps. And one thing which I think is the case here is that many of these amps sound pretty similar. Of course, I know that the cab does most to the EQ curve and the overall tone, but I think in other modeling units you can hear the characteristics of the amps a little bit better than here in this unit. I mean, it's there. Okay, this sounds a little bit different from the others, but yeah, the characteristic is there, but could be a little bit more pronounced, in my opinion. I don't have a problem with that, but I think maybe some people would wish that, for example, the PV6505 would sound a little bit closer to the original. Okay, yeah, so I hope you got the impression, and I was using the built-in cab here, so of course you have the ability to include third-party IRs, but you don't, you're not able to load amp clones as far as I know, and also the effects chain is a little bit limited. As you can see, you have only one effects block here, the modulation, and of course compression, but here you cannot choose other effects. You have the wah, which I skipped now, but and also the unit is not that flexible regarding the foot switches. It has 4 foot switches, but it has MIDI in and out, but I couldn't get it to send proper MIDI control changes to other gear. So I don't know if that comes with a later firmware update, but just the overall tone of the amps and the cabs here, yeah, it sounds good to me. It's not very noisy like some other modeling units, and if you don't want to tweak a lot, maybe this unit would be a good choice for you. Also, of course, it's very budget friendly. So what is your opinion about that unit? Please let me know in the comment section. Adios.